didn't do much of that last week, but this week I think he's handled it well so far.
When you put a player who has kind of an obvious injury like that, is there concern about the other team targeting that?
He has a cast on that hand now, so I think the biggest concern is him targeting people on defense. So, yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Defensively, what do you think the big challenges are, the Raiders, for you guys?
For us defensively?
Yeah, for your guys' defense.
Just stopping our run, that power run game. They're physical up front. They have a physical runner, one of the most physical guys in the National Football League, and we're going to have to slow him down.
I think it was Philadelphia week 3. I can't even remember anymore.
Philadelphia was week 4.
Okay, so LeGarrette Blount had a big game.
Sure.
In that game with the power run. I think since then, though, you guys have been pretty successful.
Well, it's been emphasized since the bye. It's been emphasized over and over, and I think the defense has stepped up and played the run better in the second half. Now, the last couple of weeks didn't reflect that, but overall, I think they've played better in the second half, and that's a big reason why we won some of the games that we've won. But we're definitely going to have to step up this week with this line and this back.
What do you say it's emphasized? That's been mostly it's just been gang tackling, right? Is that kind of
just hats to the ball and the personnel that you have on the field.
The way that you guys are playing right now in a lot of nickel and dime, how important is it for those corners to come up and make sure tackles so you don't have guys breaking out?
Yeah, and that's kind of been our strength is bend but don't break. And so, we haven't given up a lot of points. So there's no reason why we shouldn't continue to step up and make those plays that we've made all year.
But you have to emphasize a little bit more. I mean, you guys obviously have to win, but forget what the scoreboard says on Sunday for what's going on. And
no doubt. We can't afford any distractions. Our focus has got to be on that football field and the task at hand. So, distractions create injuries, mistakes. We just don't want any distractions. So our focus has been the the Oakland Raiders.
Did it bother you that some guys admitted they kind of took a peek the other day in New York?
No, that's human nature. Hell, I took a peek in New York the other day. So, that's just human nature.
You've worked on a lot of good coaching staffs, had a lot of good defensive coordinators that you worked alongside in your time. Where does Gus Bradley rank among the guys that you've worked with, and what makes him different or special in any way?
I just love the philosophy. Allowing young guys, especially, to come in and play fast, play physical, and play confident. And you can really evaluate a man's skill set, in his philosophy. And a lot of guys make plays. Just look at the turnovers that they've started to create. And and those are timely turnovers. Being in the right place, the right time. That's no accident.
A lot of speculation around the league that he may be a hot candidate for other jobs, either as a head coach or as a defensive coordinator. How important would it be to the Chargers to keep Gus around?
Oh, I think it's very important to keep him around. He's a defensive coordinator here, so it's a head job. I'd love to see Gus get another head job, and I tell anybody that'll listen, what type of coach he is and what type of man he is. But, we love to have him here too.
How familiar are you with the players' off-the-field contributions within the community, and is that something that you encourage?
It's something that I encourage a lot. I told every single player I want them to do something in the community. I think that's important to reach out and get in touch with the community that you live in, that you play in, and that's coming out to support you.
Coach, what is Rayshawn Jenkins on defense? He's gotten those reps in there, and how much has he progressed from the beginning of the year till now?
It's been a slow progression for Rayshawn because he hasn't had the reps that, say, like King has had, but he's coming along just fine. He's making his biggest contributions on special teams right now.
Patterson, when you guys faced them last, have they end around the big play? Do you count plays like that against the run defense, or is that one of those special plays in a different category?
Well, it depends on if they hand it to him or if they toss it to him. If they toss it to him, then it goes against the pass stats. If they hand it to him, it goes against the run stats. But anytime he's in the backfield, we know, why he's in the backfield, and we have to contain him. He is one of the best returners I've seen since Michael Bates.
What's the excitement been in this locker room? You guys have worked so hard to get to a point where these games are super meaningful. What's it been like kind of on this climb to be in this position this late in the year?
It's every game, every week, it's a thrill, and it's a blessing to be able to have the opportunity to play on Sundays in this league. And these guys don't take it for granted. These coaches don't take it for granted. And we're playing meaningful football in December. We're right where we want to be. We don't control our own destiny, but, we're in the hunt.
The part about not controlling your own destiny, I think, is interesting. But if you guys win, you'll have finished the season 9-3, regardless of how it works out with other teams. Is there momentum that can be taken from that?
Absolutely. Goes right into the off season, goes right into next year. No doubt about it. I mean, this could be the springboard to our next season, regardless, you know.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right.
Yeah, that's right. I do. I take it as a good thing. Okay, I'll open up for questions.
Opening statement. There's been 16 weeks.
Yeah, I'm really, huh? Okay. Well, we've had good thing is that we held them points last week. That's ultimately what we're looking at. But we've got some issues we just got to get taken care of in the run. You know, some big plays in the running game. They hit us on a long one in a third down situation. But, you know, as we look at it, play after play after play, pretty good. We just have those spots for some big plays, whether it's quarterback scramble or we lost contain. So we got to shore that up, especially with this team, because we get same type of mentality as last week. We're going to come in, try to establish the run. I think Marshawn Lynch looks better now than he did earlier in the season. He's really showing up. He's running hard, physical, with that anger that I know I'm accustomed to seeing. So he's playing really well for him, as well as our offensive line.
There were a lot of tackling issues in Kansas City. Were there different issues the other day in New York?
Yeah, I thought our tackling was a little bit better, but just on the perimeter, we had some perimeter issues. Some of it was we're in a tough situation, a third down call. You can put that on me. We still have to get off blocks and make a play. We had some busts. We wanted to get out of some things based on looks, and we missed a couple of those, and that led to some plays. So more just, being on our checks and getting us in the right position. That would be good. Yeah, I'd like to see where he's at every day in practice. He's a little bit better yesterday, so. But, he settles things down in there. Although I thought the linebackers played pretty well last week.
Derek Carr was just coming off a back injury when you guys faced him earlier. Does he look different now? Is he more mobile?
Yeah.
More of a different.
Well, if you see the Dallas game, he took off and ran for one of his longest runs of the season. So he's not afraid. We just had conversation about how he'll extend plays. He'll use his feet to gain yardage for first downs and third down situations. So yeah, he's not afraid to do that. He's not looking leery or skittish or anything. If that's what you're asking.
Gus, this is going to be probably a pretty unique atmosphere. I imagine New Year's Eve, it's a smaller stadium. There are a lot of Raider fans.
People have been telling me about this.
What have they been saying to you? What do you think it would be like to walk into a home stadium that's more than 50% silver and black?
Well, you know what? I think it's really, from the very start of the season, we've talked, I know, defensively about we'll compete anywhere, anytime. It doesn't matter. Just tell us when the time is, and we'll be there. And we want to have that mentality. So whether you're home or away, that shouldn't affect your play level and how you come out and your spirit. So, I think it's the same thing. The message will be the same. Hey, we'll compete anywhere, anytime. It happens to be at home this week. Let's go. And, because once the game starts, obviously you have to deal with crowd noise. And that aspect might be a little bit different, that you're dealing with it at home. But, we have a system in place. So, however it turns out that way, we'll respond to it.
Coach, if AP didn't practice yesterday, if he isn't able to go, would you feel comfortable with Rayshawn in that
Yes.
role? And how has he developed over?
Rayshawn, I think the more and more, it's a little bit like Desmond King. Desmond King right away, I think we were like, okay, we got to protect this a little bit as he's learning the system. And then as the season's gone on, we've put more and more on his plate. I think Rayshawn hasn't had as much playing time in those situations, but our feelings towards Rayshawn are the same. I think with more and more playing time, he's going to end up being a pretty good player. So, we'll see where he's at this week.
Any hunch on Adrian right now?
I just talked to him before meetings, and he said he felt better. Now, what does that mean? We'll have to wait and see.
How did Rochelle look to last week?
Good. Just like we thought. I talked to you. We were kind of excited about him. Here's what he gives us. He gives us some length inside. when especially like on third down situations. Right now we're not got a lot of length with our inside pass rush. So he brought that. We saw that where his length helped us out a little bit. So, I think that's intriguing for us if he can continue to build on that and be that inside rusher that provides some length. That's a good thing. Because just like what we had offensively, right, there's some batted balls down, and if you have length inside, that just helps the outside guys and can, get some batted balls.
Who does he compare to the guys you had maybe at Jacksonville or Seattle?
He's a little bit unique because, his size and his length is more like a left end, a traditional left end. And some guys you move inside and see how they are. Jason Jones, maybe not as, he's not as tall as he is, but, he's probably a little bit thicker. But no, not like Red, though. Yeah. Gives you a little bit more juice, I think, as a pass rusher.
Wilson and Ingram, seems like they haven't imposed their will on offenses the last 2 weeks or so, like they normally do. Anything you're seeing?
No, I think one thing is a little bit. I don't say this is a major reason. It's just the release, how fast they're getting rid of the ball. But that still shouldn't affect it too much. If you have tight coverage in the back end, should allow them time. Obviously, two guys like that, they're going to see a lot of chips, and protections turned to them. And so, they just we got to battle that. We've got to do a good job as a staff, continue to move them around and not let teams have a bead on them. So, but, I thought Joey played pretty well. If we're not getting to him and hitting him, there's quite a few hits. So it was close, and we had some opportunities. We did have opportunities last week that we missed, whether we got too thick on the tackle and he escaped and got outside. So there's opportunities there, but I think sometimes it's like takeaways. They come in bunches. Just keep working and keep coming, and they'll come.
Because you mentioned that this defense, the message has been any place, anywhere. This group has kind of developed an attitude a little bit over the season. Do you like that? And kind of how would you describe sort of their mentality as the year's gone on?
Right. You know what? I don't promote it. The coaches, on the defensive side, don't say, "Hey, we're going to play with a chip on our shoulder. This is who we are." I think you just kind of let it develop, and it takes on their own personality. But I do agree they have a personality. They're playing with confidence. Here's some guys that, it might not be the ideal height and weight at some positions, but it doesn't affect them. And maybe they have that little bit of chip on their shoulder without saying it. But they're playing, like guys like AP and Jaleel. We talked about them. That's not guys playing in the box. That's not how you draw it up. But how you play, I know there's been a lot of compliments and, a lot of respect given to those two. So I think we have some guys like that have performed well when maybe some people think they played better than what people expected.
Jerry Tasha has had trouble getting on the field because of guys that are playing in front of him. How has he continued to develop?
Well, I thought yesterday he probably had one of his best days. So the way he's practicing, the way he goes about his business, I think he's improved. He's a guy that we're trying to find a way to get on the field. And Chris McCain, there's only so many spots, so special teams has got to be big for him. And if he's ready to go, we just got to continue to find ways. But with Isaac coming on some, we'll still continue to use him. So it's tough to get him on the field, but he's doing a good job in practice. He's doing exactly what he needs to do.
Is he strictly a Leo? Can he play auto?
We did try. We looked at him at some auto. I think his position in our system is more Leo.
You coached some really good defenses in Seattle, won the division, made the playoffs. You coached some good defenses in Jacksonville, put some really good units together. What's special about this year, having only 1 year with this group?
Right. I think how fast they pick things up. I mean, I didn't anticipate it that they would be on it this fast. There's some things, you see so many different things in the league once the season gets going. And I anticipate having a lot of, okay, I didn't tell you about that one, and this one, where they can gain a bank of knowledge. But, and I do think a lot of it, what helped was, I think when I was first hired here, I was excited because I thought this race to maturity would happen quicker maybe here than other places because of the offense we're going against. And I think that helped us. I do think that going against our offense every day in OTAs and training camp, camp, we saw so many of the issues that when we weren't talking about and teaching some of these issues as they happened during the season, we already saw them in practice. So that part helped. And I was hoping, we were hoping that would happen, and I think that did. And then now it goes back to credit to the players. We've got a really sharp group. Really sharp. They communicate very well. They know in order for us to be successful, they have to be on it. They have to be on everything. And they're very detailed, very detailed. I've been impressed with that.
Can you talk about what Casey Hayward has meant to your defense, his consistency, and how that helped you guys?
Well, it's always a discussion in this defense. What are you looking for? You know, is it a three? I remember in my days with Coach Kiffin at Tampa, it was, oh, boy, you need a three technique. You need a Warren Sapp type guy. Oh, no, you need a Rondé Barber. You need a Derek Brooks. You know, what is it? I think coaches get in that conversation. And I think that ideally, I mean, you have to have good rushers. You know, but that corner is very, very important to us. So for Casey to come in and have a guy play like he's playing, when you have that rush and cover, and, you know, teams are going to attack the perimeter on us. We understand that. So you got to be able to stand up. So to have that corner that can move around or can stay on one side, play right and left. I've been with corners that only want to play on the left side, and to go challenge them and play them, you know, on both sides, where Casey's got that flexibility. So he's very important part of it. Okay?
Sort of a way to prevent that, or is that just?
Nah, you just got to really get there. Just rush lanes, really. Got to get there though. You got to compliment each other. All 4 or 5, however many people rushing, got to compliment each other and not give them rush lanes.
But you don't want. Is there anything you do as an edge guy to maybe not overrun a play?
Nah, ain't nothing you do. You continue to rush the quarterback, because if you rush Timmy, you'll never get there.
What kind of challenges Marshawn faced? It seems like he's even a little better now than he was when he faced him earlier.
We still facing the same beast mode, really. Ain't no challenge we gonna back down from, though. We really accepting all challenges.
Now that you're at the end of this regular season, what's this last 3-month process been like? You start 0-4. This team's noticeably stays all together. Nobody seems to be fighting or back. Right now you're 9 and you're 8-3 with a chance to go 9-3 to finish the season. What kind of satisfaction can you take out of that? Even
that'll be big, man. That'll be big. Just something we always knew we can do, and something we've been working hard for, really. And in this league, you always trying to win games. So anytime you can get a win in this league, it's tremendous, really.
Coach Bradley was talking about a minute ago how the leaders in the defense kept it together when things weren't going the right way, and he's come together and he's been really impressed by how quickly people have picked up his defense in the first year. What have been your impressions of the way that you've gotten into that scheme and learned how to?
I think it's really the way he teach the scheme was make it so easy to pick up. He give you just simple rules. You either got this or you got this, and when you got less things to think about, you can go out there and play fast and have fun. So it's more of the way he teach it to us. Like he's one of the best coaches I've ever been around.
So I was going to ask you, where's he ranked among them?
He's definitely in the top 2, because he a players coach, and he really know how to relate to us, and he really know how to teach defenses to us, and he always related to like everyday life, which makes it so easy for you.
Don't you guys have to win, obviously, on Sunday? Is it hard not to scoreboard watch at all? I mean,
nah, you ain't gonna scoreboard watch, because at the end of the day, shit, if we don't win, none of that shit matters. So we got to go out there and get a victory. That's the only scenario we know is win, and everything else will take care of itself.
What kind of atmosphere do you think it'll be like Sunday?
I think it'll be amazing, actually. Rivalry game, end of the year. No matter if we was both 0-15, the atmosphere gonna be amazing, no matter what.
Do you think, though, the Raiders were huge here when they played? Are they like a huge fan base?
Yeah, definitely.
More like that Philly game where most of the fans are against you?
No, I don't think most of the fans will be against us. I think it'd be a good atmosphere. Really, I think the atmosphere would be amazing. We'll have Charger fans there, we'll have Oakland fans there, and we're going to go out there and perform no matter what. No matter if it's 1 or 600,000 people in the crowd, we still going to go out there and strap it up and get busy.